I wish I'd known how much, and we heard about messy yesterday, how messy it would be, and just how resilient to change we would have to be throughout the process.
The challenges involved in changing the culture of all the stakeholders that are going to be involved in developing a sector strategy. I think the foundation, the culture, the learning that behind it is a lot heavier lift than I initially thought.
I think it would have been really useful to have understood the capacity building needs of the industry partnerships so that we could have been more upfront in the beginning in providing that assistance to industry partnerships.
The language, I think that we struggled with what is a sector. Once we came up with an example of what a sector strategy was, it was much easier for the language to proceed. But we did get, kind of caught with what is a sector table and how do you convene and how do you, I think for some people it was like a lot of talk, but what it was is listening to industry and what they needed, which is very similar to what we've done for tens and 20, 30, 40 years.
If I had understood how to talk to businesses about their business operations and knew how to translate that in terms of workforce development, that would have taken us so much further.
I think I would have wanted to know that it takes longer than I thought it would to really change people's thinking.
Just understanding that the things we were doing were actually sector initiatives. So it turned out that when we got into this thinking, we didn't really know what we were getting into, we found that we had several very good examples of sector initiatives that were already thriving in Mississippi, and finally we had a framework and a construct under which to further those initiatives.
How to fund them. I think that's always been a challenge with the work, because it is work that makes sense to the stakeholders, but it doesn't fit neatly with the current funding streams.
All industries are different. They're different in their outcomes, they're different in the way that they are organized, and they're different in the way they relate to each other. And so when you're trying to build initiatives, either at the state level or regionally, you've got to understand that industry and have that industry understand itself. And helping them to understand themselves is often the bigger picture or the bigger issue.
Our main lesson really was just going through the process of trying to give out funds and realizing that those partnerships and the workforce regions were not where we thought they were, and having to backtrack. That was a very big lesson for us.
One of the things that I would recommend if you're just starting a new industry-focused industry sector program is really get your employers to be the champions from an early part of the process.